스크랩과 노트로 스크랩을 하지 못하는 양쪽 면에 있는 따로 모아놓은 또 신문들이 있는데 이거는 주로 좀 읽겠습니다. At 98, Dorothy Wiggins is a social media star. TikTok feels stupid to me. You need more than a momentary thing. Dorothy and alcohol does really well, Mr. A said. Her followers like the idea that someone is 98 and still drinking. Us getting too warm? Can we close the blind? Some scientists argue that a giant umbrella could ease global warming. Last summer, an astronomer at the Institute for Astronomy at the University of Hawaii, published a paper that suggested tethering a big solar shield to an asteroid. Tethering. But the deal only reveals narrowing middle ground. A compromise on the bill was always going to be a long shot. Without the congressional action, they spent each day in fear of being deported, he said. How Trump still wielded a presidential pomp. He left the White House but has clung to the power and the imagery of the role. Pomp. Checking out the world's longest yard sale. 4 days, 690 miles, countless stores, bargain shopping at an annual event that stretches from Michigan to Alabama is a test of endurance and attention. The event was designed to promote cultural and economic exchange. I met a man in Pall Mall, Tennessee, minding his daughter's yard sale and feeding her chickens the biscuit part of his breakfast sandwich. Far-right sees a secret agent, not a pop phenomenon. The Pentagon Psychological Operation Unit floated, turning Taylor Swift into an asset during a NATO meeting. Floated. pendulum may be swinging back to favor employers. Low-wage workers made big gains in recent years, but that is probably over. And some economists think workers are likely to hold on to some of the gains they have made in recent years. Gen X has moved into the executive chute. New leaders are ready to take a new look at rules their predecessors followed. Gen X was one of the first generations to expect a little more from work, trying to set the boundaries. Set boundaries. Novelist gives voice to indigenous culture. Alexis stand above every other person in Australian literature. Praiseworthy. Her first and latest novel was released by New Directions in the United States on Tuesday, along with a reissue of Carpentaria, her most famous work. Reissue. How to thrive in an uncertain world. My friends and I talk now and even share a laugh or two. Uncertainty is not the disaster you may fear. It's harder than ever to predict the future. That should be a positive embrace. Humans naturally need answers, and so typically find uncertainty averse. Religious services. To apply for a free ad, send you ad text to. Fraud and stolen babies. South Korean adoptees seek justice after numerous accusations of malpractice. Mia Lee. Sorensen's Danish parents used to tell her that the birth of the family in South Korea had put her up for adoption. According to her adoption papers, she had been born prematurely in 1987 to people who could not afford her medical bills and who wished for her to have a good future abroad. But when Major Sorensen found her birth parents in South Korea last year, they were astonished that she was alive. They told her that her mother had passed out during labor, and that when she had awakened, the clinic told her that the baby had died. South Korea has the world's largest diaspora, diaspora of inter-country adoptees, with more foreign adoption overall than any other nation. About 200,000 children have been sent abroad since the end of the Korean War in 1953, mostly to the United States and Europe. Before the invention of the telegraph, there was one way to send a message long distance. Someone or something had to carry it. Compilation. Of course, this man is not a steel-toed giant. He's faking his kick right in front of the camera while the tower sits unharmed. Several meters from him in the background, unharmed. Rating. When we send emails or text, they arrive immediately. Composting is nature's process of recycling organic materials into rich soil. Composting. China-US spy competition escalate. Chinese government experts openly admire the collection capabilities of American spy agencies and their technology. Chinese intelligence journals open case studies examining U.S. operation. It's the year of the bunk, with some differences. All of a sudden, bunk beds seem to be everywhere. You see them in upscale beach and sky homes, and in boutique hotels like the Freehand, the Moxie, and the Prosper. Upscale bunk. Maestro serves as a safety net by focusing on a marriage. The film's its hero's struggles as a musician. Three society women in cocktail dresses stare up at the camera, each with a right fist raised in the Black Panther salute. The cover line, Free Leonard Bernstein. Colorado ruling is a rebuke for the ages. The state's top court saw that concluding whether Donald Trump engaged in an insurrection cannot be left to voters. Insurrection. For AI edgy, South Korea thinks the smaller, focus on languages other than English for chatbot could loosen U.S. group. In South Korea, a technological powerhouse, firms are taking advantage of AI's malleability to shape systems from the ground up to address local needs. Some have trained AI models with a set of data rich in Korean language and culture. To shape a system from the ground up. A career takes off. It just took time. In projects like the Maestro, Matt Bomer is getting some of the best roles that he's had. In 2001, the actor Matt Bomer took a role in the TV soap opera Guiding Light. World crises add volatility to economy for 2024. Wars and 50 election put pressure on trade, investment, and growth. The attacks are on crucial shipping traffic in the Red Sea Straits by a determined band of militants in Yemen, a spillover from the Israeli-Hamas war in Gaza, are injecting a new dose of instability into a world's economy already struggling with mounting geopolitical tension. Spillover. We are averting our eyes from something very long. Hispanic and black teenagers spend far more time on apps than their whiter peers. Not surprisingly, disparities in social media usage reflect inequalities in the real world. Disparities. In U.S., charging network for electric vehicles is years away. The slow rollout does not help the public's view on reliability. Rollout. More fears plague the 737 MAX at 9. Air travel remains remarkably safe, but I don't have any strong reassurances that something like this won't happen again. It seems unlikely that the accident intimacy in films take provocative turns. Sultan is a jumbled, cockeyed update of many genres and stories, but the genre is most interested in revising is the 1980s and 90s erotic thriller. There's no quitting for Trump. A series of indictment would have ended more traditional campaigns. Other people, if they ever got indicted, they are out of politics. Days after Mr. Trump left office, polls showed that he maintained high levels of support inside his party. Behind the buzz of an anti-vaccine story, a 24-year-old's death caught the attention of immunization opponents. Vaccine opponents had a death certificate that placed the blame squarely on the vaccine. Rescue from an online hellscape. A chapter of U.S. abortion history is repeating itself. More than 60 years ago, the U.S. was confronted with the story of a young woman forced to seek an abortion abroad after unwittingly taking a drug that caused severe birth defects. Shifting ground the left and the right-leaning voters. Of the 9 largest counties in Iowa, only one. The switched from Mr. Obama to Mr. Trump in 2016. The U.S. upper Midwest displays a remarkable sorting on partisan lines. Will influx of cash be enough for Trump the challenger? And while her campaign's efforts have yielded better polling results in other early voting states, including New Hampshire and South Carolina, she now sees a chance to secure a better than expected finish in Iowa. Caroline Bryant Dunham doesn't deserve your tears. Late last month, unserved arrest warrant for Dunham on a charge of kidnapping was found in the basement of a Mississippi courthouse, unserved. Cozy retreats for fairy tale getaways. Let the others ski. These hotels conjure hot cocoa by the fire. There's also a yoga studio and a fitness center. Have companies pulled back from diversity efforts as initiatives face attack? Some businesses are changing their approach. Some see the decrease in job postings as a sign that companies have worked back their commitments to DEI. It shows that the surge in hiring of DEI roles after Floyd's murder was formative at best, said the Vice President of Diversity, Inclusion, Equity, and Belonging at the Indeed. Performative. Democrats fear Biden's impact on races. Congressional candidates in some key states pointed to his lagging poll numbers. What you are seeing from voters is they are not that engaged. They don't really like their option. Yeah, Mr. S. campaign spokesman Austin Cook said she looks forward to running with President Biden next year. How China cashes in on Russia's isolation. Since invasion of Ukraine, the value of trade between the countries has soared. Cashing on. Live from the jungle, migrant influencers. Videos of Darien Gap have become tools for travelers and smugglers. No Man's Land. Book review. What does the Melander mean by women though? Signal and the danger of privacy at all costs. The debate about dilemmas posed by the texting messaging system. There's something somewhat sneaky in all this, though I don't think the owners of Signal intend to be sneaky. America's diet feed a groundwater crisis. Eating habits have shifted toward chicken and cheese, putting stress on aquifers. 야, 이거 발음이 안 되네. 어떤 단어인데? 발음이 안 돼. The effects are being felt in key agricultural regions nationwide as farmers have drained groundwater to grow animal feed. Inside the brain is the kaleidoscopic. The field of neuroscience is producing scientific insight and glorious images. retreat of Swiss glaciers disrupted the tradition. The country's biggest glaciers are projected to shrink at least 68% by the end of the century. That makes Switzerland a rare country that does not embrace tree cover as a solution to climate change. Tree cover. "52 places to go in 2024. The last leg on the Transalpine started on the lush Canterbury Plains, then climbs over the Southern Alps. Lush. 'Betitled Martinique and the Calico offer plenty of places to snorkel, fish, dive, and sail, but don't miss a tour of a rum distillery, chocolate company, or spice garden. Unspoiled waterways, unavailable to some. Fly fishermen in Colorado takes on wealthy owners in fight for access to rivers. These are the last places in the West that aren't swarmed by people. Unspoiled. Colorado's natural beauty. Groves of aspen shimmering in fall, snow-capped 14,000-foot peaks bathed in alpenglow has much to lure outdoor enthusiasts, from college-age tubers to private jet owners. Shimmering. South Koreans are ready to stop hating Japan. Fears of China is forcing the country to reassess its fraught relations with with its once the colonizing neighbor. Religious logic turned against abortion laws. In fighting against bans by U.S. state, clergy say their faith is being violated. Many of those who are suing say abortion bans embed conservative Christian ideology into the state law. Doing video medical consultation, a nurse practitioner and patient care coordinator discussed effects like the cramping and bleeding and urged her to call their 24-hour nurse hotline with questions or concerns. Cramping. 52 places to go in 2024. Already one of the most visited cities in the world, Paris is preparing to welcome millions of travelers this summer as host of the 2024 Olympic and the Paralympic Games. A salon determined to understand black women's hair. Companies have identified a lucrative sector that has been ignored for decades. Lucrative. How much do gig drivers make? A new app tells them. They don't know what the platforms are going to do next. There is a lot of mistrust. Mistrust between workers and these platforms. It helps workers earn more money, but platforms are much less enthusiastic. Mistrust. Earth is getting hotter. According to the Natural Resources Defense Council, the 10 hottest years on record have occurred during the past 20 years. Scientists predict that this increase will continue. Synesthesia is a condition wherein a person perceives two senses at the same time. The zodiac is made of 12 constellations that mark the sun's position in the sky over a year. Each sign of the zodiac is shaped like a different creature. Meet the return to office whisperers. These consultants want you to come back to work. It's not going too well. Workers whose lives have been transformed by remote work are ready to fight to keep their newfound freedom. Meet the return to office whisperers. Companies have this idealized vision that when people are in the office, they are working all the time. It's a mirage.